The depression itself gives attachment to the lady between two majors. Sounds extremely interesting, isn't it? Hello, my dear students. We continue with our study of the humerus today. So, should we begin by discussing the shaft point between these two fossae, the coronoid fossa and the radial fossa? That is your anterior border. We now go to the medial border. From here, medial lip of bicipital groove down to the medial supracondylar ridge, medial epicondyle. Now, let's talk about the lateral border. For the lateral border, I want you to go to the lateral epicondyle, lateral supracondylar ridge, lateral border. It stops here at the deltoid tuberosity. So this is your anterior border, this is your medial border, and this is your lateral border. Got your borders right? On the medial side, anteromedial surface. On the lateral side, anterolateral surface. Now just turn the bone around. This entire surface is your posterior surface. Easy? Lesser tubercle, greater tubercle. Gap in between for the bicipital groove. The lateral edge of the intertubercular sulcus here gives attachment to the pectoralis major. The medial edge gives attachment to the teres major. On the anteromedial surface, you also come across a nutrient foramen. This is a very standard image which gives you an idea how to remember direction of nutrient foramen. The growing end of the bone is opposite to the direction of nutrient foramen, that is the law. In which direction do the nutrient foramina go? To the elbow I go, from the knee I flee. We now come to the anterolateral surface. So here's your deltoid tuberosity. Below that, there is the lower attachment of the brachialis muscle. Turn the bone around and let's go to the posterior surface. Presence of an oblique groove called the radial groove or the spiral groove. Above it, there is attachment of lateral head of tricep brachii. Below it, there is attachment of medial head of tricep brachii. As you're looking at the lower end, you find that the smooth parts are the articular part and the rough parts are obviously the non-articular part. And this little rounded thing laterally is called as the capitulum. Trochlea capitulum. Understand that this coronoid process of ulna goes and fits into this coronoid fossa in the humerus in flexion. The lateral projection on your lower end of humerus is your lateral epicondyle. The medial projection on it is your medial epicondyle. You can see that the trochlea is very prominent medially. The medial flange of trochlea is almost 6 mm further below compared to the lateral flange. Let's talk about the non-articular parts of humerus now. There are three fossae we saw. The radial fossa for the head of radius, the coronoid fossa for the coronoid process of ulna. Posteriorly, you see a really deep olecranon fossa. So with this, we finish our discussion of the humerus itself. I hope this lecture has helped you.